A fleet of ships. A fleet of ships. The harbor was bustling with activity as a fleet of ships arrived on the land. The fleet of ships maneuvered in perfect coordination, showcasing their tactical skills. The admiral inspected the fleet of ships, each one gleaming under the bright sunlight. A constellation of stars. A constellation of stars. The constellation of stars known as Orion was clearly visible in the night sky. The constellation of stars formed a pattern that had been recognized for centuries. The children learned about the constellation of stars and their mythological stories. A collection of coins. A collection of coins. His collection of coins included rare and valuable pieces from different countries. The museum displayed a fascinating collection of coins from ancient civilizations. The antique dealer appraised the collection of coins for its historical significance. A library of books. A library of books. The scholar spent hours in the vast library of books, researching his topic. A library of books was donated to the local school by a generous benefactor. A library of books provided endless knowledge and entertainment to its readers. A range of mountains. A range of mountains. A range of mountains stretched across the horizon, covered in snow. A range of mountains provided a challenging trek for the adventurers. The photographer captured the beauty of the range of mountains at sunrise. A regiment of soldiers. A regiment of soldiers. The battlefield was controlled by a well-disciplined regiment of soldiers. A regiment of soldiers defended the fortress from the advancing enemy forces. The general praised the bravery of his regiment of soldiers in the recent conflict. An archipelago of islands. An archipelago of islands. The archipelago of islands was known for its vibrant marine life and coral reefs. The archipelago of islands was a popular destination for adventure-seeking tourists. The explorers sailed through an archipelago of islands, each with unique landscapes. A catalog of goods. A catalog of goods. She flipped through the catalog of goods, searching for holiday gift ideas. The catalog of goods featured everything from electronics to home decor. He ordered items from the catalog of goods, taking advantage of the sales. A forest of trees. A forest of trees. The painter captured the essence of the forest of trees in his artwork. The hiker explored a dense forest of trees, marveling at the natural beauty. The logging company was careful to preserve the surrounding forest of trees. A choir of singers. A choir of singers. The festival featured a choir of singers performing traditional folk songs. A choir of singers traveled to various countries, sharing their cultural heritage. The music teacher conducted a choir of singers, guiding them through each note. A mob of rioters. A mob of rioters. The police struggled to control the angry mob of rioters in the city center. The authorities declared a curfew to disperse the dangerous mob of rioters. A mob of rioters clashed with law enforcement, leading to widespread chaos. A pack of wolves. A pack of wolves. The wildlife photographer captured a rare shot of a pack of wolves in the wild. The leader of the pack of wolves guided the group through the snowy landscape. A pack of wolves roamed the tundra, searching for food in the harsh environment. A bundle of firewood. A bundle of firewood. They bought a bundle of firewood to prepare for their weekend camping trip. He carried a bundle of firewood on his shoulder as he walked back to the cabin. We stacked the bundle of firewood by the fireplace to keep warm during the winter. An army of soldiers. An army of soldiers. An army of soldiers camped in the field, preparing for the next day's battle. An army of soldiers marched in perfect synchronization down the dusty road. The villagers cheered as an army of soldiers liberated their town from invaders. A team of players. A team of players. A team of players celebrated their hard-earned victory after a tough game. The crowd cheered for their favorite team of players during the intense match. A team of players practiced tirelessly, hoping to win the championship trophy. A tribe of natives. A tribe of natives. The explorer was welcomed by a tribe of natives offering food and shelter. A tribe of natives gathered around the fire, sharing stories of their ancestors. A tribe of natives performed a traditional dance to celebrate the harvest season. A crowd of spectators. A crowd of spectators. The concert attracted a huge crowd of spectators from all over the city. The match drew a large crowd of spectators, all cheering for their favorite team. The festival was a hit, with a crowd of spectators enjoying the lively atmosphere. A dynasty of kings. A dynasty of kings. A dynasty of kings expanded the empire through conquest and diplomacy. The palace displayed portraits of the entire dynasty of kings who once reigned. The historians studied the rise and fall of the dynasty of kings with great interest. A bevy of girls. A bevy of girls. A bevy of girls attended the summer camp, eager for new adventures. The dance studio was filled with a bevy of girls practicing their routines. A bevy of girls sang harmoniously in the school choir during the assembly. A band of musicians. A band of musicians. A band of musicians practiced tirelessly for their upcoming concert tour. A band of musicians traveled from town to town, sharing their love of music. A band of musicians played lively tunes at the town square, attracting a crowd. A board of directors. A board of directors. The board of directors appointed a new chairperson to lead the organization. A board of directors oversees the company's operations and long-term goals. A board of directors voted unanimously to approve the new business proposal. A caravan of gypsies. A caravan of gypsies. The townsfolk watched as a colorful caravan of gypsies entered the village. A caravan of gypsies traveled across the countryside, setting up camp each night. The market was bustling with a caravan of gypsies selling their handcrafted goods. A class of pupils. A class of pupils. The teacher praised the class of pupils for their recent excellent exam results. A class of pupils listened attentively as the teacher explained the math lesson. A class of pupils participated in the school's annual science fair with enthusiasm. A congregation of worshippers. A congregation of worshippers. A congregation of worshippers prayed together for peace and harmony. The church was filled with a congregation of worshippers celebrating the holiday. The pastor addressed a large congregation of worshippers with a powerful sermon. A crew of sailors. A crew of sailors. The captain relied on his experienced crew of sailors to manage the ship. A crew of sailors repaired the sails and prepared the ship for the journey. The adventurous crew of sailors embarked on a voyage to explore new lands. A galaxy of movie stars. A galaxy of movie stars. The gala was a glittering affair with a galaxy of movie stars in attendance. A galaxy of movie stars gathered at the charity event to support a good cause. Fans lined the red carpet, hoping to catch a glimpse of the galaxy of movie stars. A gang of robbers. A gang of robbers. The police were on the lookout for a notorious gang of robbers in the city. The authorities finally captured the leader of the infamous gang of robbers. A gang of robbers broke into the bank, making off with a large sum of money. A gang of thieves. A gang of thieves. The museum's security system was breached by a skilled gang of thieves. A gang of thieves operated in the shadows, avoiding detection by the police. A gang of thieves was caught red-handed attempting to steal priceless artifacts. A group of dancers. A group of dancers. The stage was lit up by a talented group of dancers in colorful costumes. A group of dancers performed a mesmerizing routine at the cultural festival. A group of dancers entertained the crowd with their high-energy performance. A line of rulers. A line of rulers. A line of rulers expanded the empire through strategic alliances and conquests. A line of rulers governed the kingdom with wisdom and fairness for generations. The historian traced the succession of the line of rulers through detailed records. A party of friends. A party of friends. The restaurant was lively with a party of friends enjoying dinner together. A party of friends gathered at the beach for a fun-filled day under the sun. A party of friends took a road trip, creating memories that would last a lifetime. A patrol of policemen. A patrol of policemen. The street was under the watchful eye of a patrol of policemen. A patrol of policemen responded quickly to the reported disturbance. A patrol of policemen maintained order during the large public gathering. A staff of employees. A staff of employees. A staff of employees attended the training session to enhance their skills. A staff of employees worked diligently to meet the project's tight deadline. The company expanded, hiring a diverse staff of employees for various roles. A troop of scouts. A troop of scouts. The leader guided a troop of scouts through the dense forest on a hike. A troop of scouts embarked on a weekend camping trip in the wilderness. A troop of scouts learned valuable survival skills during their outdoor adventure. An album of photographs. An album of photographs. She cherished the memories captured in the old album of photographs. The album of photographs documented their journey across the country. The couple created an album of photographs to commemorate their wedding day. An anthology of poems. An anthology of poems. The library housed a rare anthology of poems by famous authors. The anthology of poems covered a wide range of emotions and themes. The literary club discussed an anthology of poems during their weekly meeting. A basket of fruit. A basket of fruit. A basket of fruit was placed on the table, adding color to the room. The chef prepared a dessert using ingredients from the basket of fruit. The basket of fruit included a variety of tropical and seasonal selections. A block of flats. A block of flats. The residents of the block of flats gathered for a community meeting. The fire alarm went off in the block of flats, prompting an evacuation. A block of flats was built to accommodate the growing population in the city. A book of notes. A book of notes. The professor's lecture inspired her to fill her book of notes with insights. A book of notes helped him stay organized and prepared for presentations. Her book of notes was filled with sketches and observations from her travels. A bouquet of flowers. A bouquet of flowers. A bouquet of flowers was arranged as a centerpiece for the dining table. The florist created a custom bouquet of flowers for the special occasion. He presented her with a beautiful bouquet of flowers on their anniversary. A fleet of motor cars. A fleet of motor cars. The company purchased a new fleet of motor cars for its executives. A fleet of motor cars drove through the city streets, attracting attention. The fleet of motor cars was well-maintained and ready for the long journey. A heap of rubbish. A heap of rubbish. The landfill was overflowing with a heap of rubbish from the main city. The cleanup crew tackled the enormous heap of rubbish left after the festival. The recycling center sorted through a heap of rubbish for salvageable materials. A hedge of bushes. A hedge of bushes. The gardener trimmed the hedge of bushes into a neat and tidy shape. The property was surrounded by a tall hedge of bushes, offering seclusion. The children hid behind the hedge of bushes during their game of hide and seek. A series of events. A series of events. The festival was marked by a series of events celebrating the town's heritage. The documentary chronicled a series of events that changed world history. A series of events brought the community together in support of a common cause. A colony of gulls. A colony of gulls. The fisherman was followed by a noisy colony of gulls seeking scraps. The island was home to a large colony of gulls, protected by wildlife laws. The biologists studied the behavior of the colony of gulls during breeding season. A host of sparrows. A host of sparrows. A host of sparrows gathered on the fence, sharing a quiet moment. The forest echoed with the sounds of a host of sparrows greeting the dawn. A host of sparrows nested in the old barn, undisturbed by the farm's activity. A pride of peacocks. A pride of peacocks. The zoo featured a majestic pride of peacocks roaming freely in the park. The tourists were enchanted by the sight of a pride of peacocks in full display. A pride of peacocks gathered around the pond, preening their beautiful plumage. A tribe of antelopes. A tribe of antelopes. A tribe of antelopes scattered as the lion approached, sensing danger. The safari tour encountered a tribe of antelopes near the watering hole. A tribe of antelopes grazed peacefully on the savanna, alert for predators. A cohort of zebras. A cohort of zebras. A cohort of zebras grazed near the acacia trees, blending with the landscape. The photographer captured a stunning image of a cohort of zebras by the river. The safari jeep followed a cohort of zebras, observing their behavior in the wild. A swarm of rats. A swarm of rats. The city was battling an outbreak, with a swarm of rats spreading disease. The exterminator was called to deal with the swarm of rats in the basement. The old warehouse was infested with a swarm of rats, scurrying in the shadows. A troop of baboons. A troop of baboons. A troop of baboons raided the campsite, snatching food and supplies. A troop of baboons roamed the rocky cliffs, searching for food and shelter. The researchers observed the social interactions within the troop of baboons. A herd of rhinoceroses. A herd of rhinoceroses. The wildlife reserve protected a small but healthy herd of rhinoceroses. The safari guide pointed out a herd of rhinoceroses grazing in the distance. A herd of rhinoceroses moved slowly through the thick brush, their size imposing. A family of otters. A family of otters. The children watched as a family of otters built their den by the stream. A family of otters played in the river, chasing each other through the water. A family of otters swam gracefully through the kelp forest, searching for food. A litter of piglets. A litter of piglets. The farmer was proud of the healthy litter of piglets born on the farm. The veterinary team monitored the growth of the litter of piglets closely. The children were delighted by the sight of a litter of piglets playing in the mud. A drove of oxen. A drove of oxen. The caravan was led by a strong drove of oxen, carrying heavy loads. A drove of oxen rested under the shade of a tree after a long day's work. The old paintings depicted a drove of oxen working the land centuries ago. A plague of locusts. A plague of locusts. The region struggled to recover after a devastating plague of locusts. A plague of locusts swarmed the village, consuming everything in sight. The farmers tried desperately to protect their fields from the plague of locusts. A shoal of fish. A shoal of fish. The fishermen noticed the shoal of fish swarming around their nets. The shoal of fish created a shimmering cloud as they moved together. As we sailed along the coast, we spotted a shoal of fish beneath the waves. A swarm of bees. A swarm of bees. A swarm of bees buzzed around the flowering bushes in the garden. She quickly moved away from the swarm of bees to avoid getting stung. The beekeeper carefully observed the swarm of bees to ensure their safety. A chain of events. A chain of events. A chain of events unfolded after the small incident at the cafe. The chain of events started with a simple misunderstanding between friends. They were intrigued by the chain of events that led to the historic discovery. A cluster of stars. A cluster of stars. We gazed at the night sky and marveled at the cluster of stars twinkling above. The cluster of stars seemed to form a sparkling diamond in the vast expanse of space. The telescope revealed a distant cluster of stars that had never been observed before. A clutch of eggs. A clutch of eggs. The mother hen carefully guarded her clutch of eggs in the cozy nest. The biologist counted the clutch of eggs to monitor the species' reproduction rate. She found a clutch of eggs in the garden and gently placed them back in their nest. A heap of stones. A heap of stones. The builder moved a heap of stones to create the foundation of the wall. The archaeologist carefully excavated a heap of stones to uncover ancient artifacts. A heap of stones lay scattered across the field after the construction site was cleared. A flock of birds. A flock of birds. The flock of birds suddenly changed direction, creating a pattern in the sky. The children watched in awe as a flock of birds descended on the water park. We spotted a flock of birds migrating south for the winter through the mountains. A bunch of flowers. A bunch of flowers. She received a bunch of flowers for her birthday, brightening up her entire room. He picked a bunch of flowers from the garden to wish his wife on their anniversary. The florist arranged a bunch of flowers that was perfect for the wedding ceremony.